China. Okay, maybe too heavy to start with. Peppa Pig. See, there you go, that's a little more lighthearted. As we all know by now, Peppa Pig is one of the biggest and most successful children's cartoons of all time. And because of that success, it's been duplicated, replicated, and ripped off more times than I can count. I'm looking at you, Wolfie family. But today, let's head to the rip-off capital of the world, China. Now, China is no stranger to ripping off cartoons. Miracle Star and The Legend of Lucky Pie are prime examples of this. I gotta give them credit though, their dedication to completely ripping something off while at the same time putting in loads of effort to do so is something to be commended. They really tried to mimic Gumball's style with Miracle Star, but today, we have a cartoon that surprisingly took inspiration from Peppa Pig, is actually somewhat entertaining, and believe it or not, is fairly original. That show in question being Pleasant Goat and Big Wolf, making its debut on Chinese television on August 3rd, 2005, and still going strong with over 2,600 episodes. To put that into perspective, The Simpsons is one of America's longest running cartoons, making its debut in 1989, and they only have 728 episodes. I say only, that's a ton of episodes. But this random Chinese children's cartoon, I guess, is pumping out new episodes multiple times a day, almost tripling The Simpsons. So, I guess let's check out episode 1 and see what the fuss is all about. So we get a nice little theme song introducing us to all the characters. There's Happy, Slowly, Lazy, and some other of Snow White's little dwarves. We start off with a goat, flossing in 2005. So the story and concept of the show is pretty simple. There's a village of goats trying to live peacefully, and a pack of evil wolf pirates that are trying to eat them. Sometimes successfully, I might add. Jesus! So our main pleasant goat, so to speak, is named Happy. He's the one with the blue bell and is mostly, yes, happy. He's your typical anime protagonist, positive and friendly, yet goofy and dumb. Him and his friends are basically children that just want to have fun and don't take guarding the village too seriously. On the other side of the fence, we have Wolfie. Not to be confused with Wolfoo, that little jerk! He's the antagonist of the series, and I use the word antagonist very, very lightly. He's a bit of a klutz and has zero hunting ability, always getting outsmarted by the goats. He even outright says he has no interest in hunting and only does this to make his wife happy. His wife is a bitch, by the way. She's abusive and pressures Wolfie to do all these things. For example, in episode 1, Wolfie shows up dressed as Little Red Riding Hood to trick the goats into letting him in. They obviously don't fall for it, and Wolfie gives up, trying to persuade the goats with a carrot. The goats then say, "Hey stupid, we're not rabbits," and then blow him up with dynamite. The end. I'm not even kidding, that's how episode 1 ends. So, review of that? It was okay. I'm not sure if it warrants over 2,000 episodes, but we'll get to that. Season 1 alone has 500 episodes, and a majority of them follow this formula of the wolf trying to eat the goats. I watched a couple more episodes and kinda started to get the feeling I get when I watch Tom and Jerry. Like, at first, it's just an entertaining show with some cartoon violence, but the more I sit there and start to see what's going on, I start to feel bad for Tom. Like, dang dude, he's always getting beaten up and tortured. And Jerry, the little shit, just laughs it off. And sometimes he's the one starting the beef. You kinda get that vibe all throughout season 1 of the show. You start to really feel bad for Wolfie.
好了，出来吧，兄弟。
Don't worry though, there's only 530 episodes of it! Pleasant Goat and Big Wolf must have been a juggernaut throughout China. One thing you might be noticing with these early episodes is that the quality isn't the best. Something about the animation style and voiceover quality, I don't know. You might be forgetting that this is a show that came out in 2005 and not 1985. A lot of the episodes really aren't anything worth writing home about, but I'm not gonna use that as a negative against the show. It's a children's cartoon. I don't got much to say about Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, but I loved the hell out of it as a kid. So after the 500 episode test run, the show was moderately successful, which I guess to China is enough to say, screw it, this is our next big thing. In 2009, there would actually be a Pleasant Goat movie, The Super Adventure. Wow. As you can see, the team was given a much bigger budget with this movie. It's honestly really gorgeous to look at, and if this aired in America when I was a kid, I more than likely would have definitely loved it. The plot, though, is a little weird. So weird, in fact, that I'm just gonna read you the plot synopsis as it is written in Wikipedia. Ahem. They found a sick snail in the goat village. The goat went to its body to rescue it by shrinking them with a miniature spray. However, Wolfie knew this plan. In order to catch the goats, he also narrowed himself and sneaked into the snail. After the goats and Wolfie entered the snail's body, they found the snail sick and with a lot of bacteria in it. There was a sensational blast that was divided into white and black. Finally, the goat led the white bacterium, fighting against the black bacteria led by Wolfie. But there is still a yellow bacterium between them. Basically, the movie is that one episode of Jimmy Neutron where they need to fight off all the evil sick cells. The movie was an absolute success, bringing in over 30 million yuan, or $4.3 million during its opening week, which actually became the highest record animated film for domestic box office at the time, and they'd only get better. As of recording this, Pleasant Goat is on its 8th movie and was released on February 1st, 2022. All of the movies would keep this more clean and fluid style that would eventually become the norm for the actual TV show. Season 3 of Pleasant Goat was released in 2010 and started to actually look like a children's show that fits in with the time. It's definitely more appealing and friendly looking, unlike its spin-off show, I Love Wolfie. Goodness gracious, do I need to call an adult? Honestly though, I can't really be mean to this, considering Blue's Clues actually did something similar back in the day. It's pretty much what you'd expect. Kids playing with giant suit characters, doing some bootleg Sesame Street things, and even a live-action movie that was fairly successful. Now, you might think this is where our Pleasant Goat and Big Wolf story comes to an end, but this is actually where the story gets even better. During the show's 29th season, they decided to do a soft reboot of the series, labeled under the name Mighty Little Defenders. Let's check that out. Oh my god! Yes! You are seeing this correctly. The once generic and formulaic Pleasant Goat Peppa Pig wannabe has now taken on a new life of its own in the form of a shonen anime. Seriously, this new direction is heavily anime inspired with its music, motifs, and facial reactions, just to name a few things. The first episode is literally a retelling of episode 1, introducing the Goat Village, our main character, and Wolfie as our incompetent villain. However, this is where the series actually does something right and makes Wolfie friends with the goats, which is a change I'm more than happy with. Mighty Little Defenders came out in 2019, which I guess was a good time to reboot the series and its formula. Now, instead of Tom and Jerry shenanigans with two rivaling animal factions, we now get epic anime battles between good and evil, tragic backstories, fun comedy, all the things you'd expect to see in an anime. Oh, and the movies during this new era, don't even get me started. They somehow look even more amazing, clean, and intense. Seriously, I'm so surprised that this little Chinese children's cartoon shifted its tone to become something this amazing.
I believe goats and wolves can live together in peace.
Of course we can, as long as you don't hurt my friends.
It's not happening! Goats and wolves can never live together in peace.
There's even an English dub of the show now, meaning that kids in English-speaking countries can watch and enjoy the show. Pleasant Goat's transition from preschool educational shenanigans to literal shonen anime is just too funny. And in 2020, Pleasant Goat got another spin-off series called Mighty Goat Squad. It's now in 3D and is a Voltron Power Rangers kind of show, where everyone is riding vehicles and putting on suits. I love it. Pleasant Goat easily has one of the most unique and fascinating life cycles I've ever seen. And what's even better is that the show is still going on, and is very successful to this day, with clips on YouTube getting millions of views. Describing this show is kind of like how I describe an anime with 1,000 episodes. Yeah, it's got a slow start, and I couldn't really get into the first 500 episodes, but after that, I promise it gets good. The more anime-centric direction the series went into, I think really helped breathe new life into the series. Pleasant Goat even had 60 Olympic-themed episodes in 2008, since the Olympics were being held in Beijing at the time. So let me know what you think. I just wanted to shed some light on this obscure yet also very successful cartoon from China. Was it really a Peppa Pig knockoff? Not really. But a children's cartoon about an animal and its friends coming out in 2005 in China? I'm sure they had Peppa Pig in mind somewhere when making it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.